of us. I yield back.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Georgia? Okay. For what purpose does the gentleman from New York seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, I rise this evening to salute the long-storied career of Chief Bobby Hughes of the East Meadow Fire Department, who has been in the Nassau County Fire Service for over 40 years. He rose through the ranks, becoming Chief of Department from 1997 to 1998, instrumental in forming the East Meadow Fire Department Chiefs Association. He's the current band leader of the Nassau County Firefighters Pipes and Drums, who led that very band down Pennsylvania Avenue for the inauguration of President Trump. He joined the Nassau County Fire Service Academy as an instructor in 2003 and has risen through the ranks. And this week, he will walk out of the Nassau County Fire Service Academy for the last time as the chief instructor. He has made it a beacon of education and training, not just in Nassau County, but across the country. Madam Speaker, I join the Nassau County Fire Service in saluting Chief Bobby Hughes and thanking him for his career in keeping our county safe and training the future of the fire service. Madam Speaker, I yield back.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Ohio seek recognition?
And extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, I rise to pay tribute to the ultimate sacrifice made by 5 of our nation's most heroic men and women in uniform. Each was defending liberty in dangerous territory, and each possessed raw courage, selflessness, and total dedication to duty for the sake of our nation. Each of us is privileged to live under liberty's umbrella because of them. Special Warfare Operator First Class Christopher Chambers and Navy Special Warfare Operator Second Class Nathan Ingram were lost far from home in rough waters on the Red Sea on January 11th. Then 17 days later, on January 28th, an enemy drone targeted Tower 22 in Jordan. The drone, operated by Iranian-backed militia terrorists, wounded more than 40 U.S. service members, killing 3 of America's finest, Staff Sergeant William Rivers, Sergeant Kennedy Sanders, and Sergeant Brianna Moffett. While all 5 hailed from different hometowns, they served together for one united purpose: liberty, defending America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. These brave soldiers and sailors were guarding us against the hastening spiderweb of terrorism and tyranny halfway around the world. Let us pay homage and honor each of these young men and women for their ultimate sacrifice. May they rest in peace. May God bless America.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Tennessee seek recognition?
For 1 minute.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The skullduggery of the Speaker of the House was on display today. He has no real interest in helping Israel. He has interest in scoring political points with Donald Trump. And he used Israel to do that today, and he did it a month ago. A month ago or so, he said he would support aid to Israel if it was set off with $13 or $14 million in cuts to the IRS, which would have only benefited the wealthiest tax cheats in our country. To condition aid for Israel on helping out rich tax cheats is despicable. And the skullduggery today was to separate Israel from Ukraine, a country similar to Israel that's being invaded by Russia, to try to deny its territorial integrity and to commit a genocide, just as Hamas is trying to commit a genocide in Israel. I support Israel. I also support helping with humanitarian aid the people in Gaza who have been hurt, injured, or killed. I also support helping Ukraine from having Russia do the same thing. And I support Taiwan. I do not support the Speaker. He is a man without good faith. I yield back the balance of my
The gentleman's time has
time.
expired. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Washington seek recognition?
Speaker, I rise to request 1 minute to advise and extend my.
Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Madam Speaker, I rise today in praise of the resilience of my community in Southwest Washington. Last month, a fire broke out at one of 2 seafood processing facilities near the Port of Ilwaco in my district. In the aftermath of the catastrophic fire, the unity and support demonstrated by the Ilwaco community has been remarkable. Whereas lesser men would have seen an opportunity for competitive advantage, these folks chose to stand together and see each other as neighbors, lending out crab pots to each other that they didn't have to do. I am incredibly grateful to come from a community that supports each other in the wake of a tragedy. Their community spirit is a competitive advantage that money cannot buy and in natural disasters cannot shake. I extend my thanks to the brave first responders who responded to the fire. Several of them were treated for heat exhaustion, to their tireless effort in combating the blaze for hours. And I want to recognize the folks in Ilwaco who stepped up to help local crabbers, dropping off sandwiches, shipping up crab pots from as far south as California and Alaska. And rebuilding and recovery will take time. They will never get back those hours of sleep or the heartache or the monetary loss. But their moral fiber has been revealed in a way that is durable and will strengthen the community and is its own reward. I stand with you in your fights, and I am so grateful for your leadership. I yield back.
For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Texas seek recognition? Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
The American people might wonder just what happened here today. Well, first of all, the southern border deal never got anywhere. And all of the logistics and all of the cloak and dagger and what was going to be in it failed to even get the attention of the Speaker of this House or any of the Republican members. And yet, all of a sudden, an unfounded legislative initiative that was allegedly to advocate for the needs of the people in the Mideast wound up on the floor of the House. You wonder what we did today. It wound up on the floor of the House with no conscience, no thought, no commitment. And that is why I was not able to vote for it. I was willing to join an amended initiative to ensure that all of the people that are in need in the Mideast would be taken care of, that we would have the funding for Israel, but we would have the funding for the Palestinians and the aid that is needed in Gaza and the ability to deal with the crisis of death that they have been facing, that we would have the money for Taiwan, and yes, that we would have the money for Ukraine. I've been to the border of Ukraine. I've seen the violence against our children. I've seen Russia steal children. I've seen parents die in the streets. It is necessary that we do this right, and that is funding for all of those that are in need, and do it now.
The
Speaker
gentlewoman's
of the
time
House
has
needs
expired.
to teach this in a professional way for the American people to know we care about the nation
gentlewoman's
and
time
care
has
about the
expired.
Mideast. I yield back.
Under the Speaker's announced policy of January 9th, 2023, the gentleman from California, Mr. Desaulniers, is recognized for 60 minutes as the designee of the Minority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members have 5 legislative days in which to advise and extend their remarks and include extraneous materials on this special order.
Without objection.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, 6 years ago, I held a special order on a subject matter that I think is extremely important to this country and to the developed world, the issue of growing inequality. It's been 4 years since COVID-19 pandemic began, and it's more relevant now than ever because, unfortunately, it's gotten worse. The concentration of wealth in the United States of America is not fair, it's not American, and it is driving multiple social and behavioral health issues that more and more research points to and verifies. The pandemic has laid bare the deep disparities that exist in the United States